and I won't waste it.
Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM and welcome back to Growing the Dream. I hope you're all doing very well and having a brilliant day. So I just want to start off first and foremost. I hope that my audio quality is currently as good as it could be or can be. I'm cocooned in fans. We're in the UK at the minute. We are experiencing some incredible temperatures. It's not even midday yet here where I am, and it's 32 degrees outside. So in my little room where I'm recording here, it is painfully hot, so I've got fans all around me. So I do hope that they're not picking up, being picked up by the microphone and then just turning the audio quality a little bit funny. I did do a little quick test before. They don't seem to be, so fingers crossed. But yeah, I've got no choice, otherwise I just couldn't record in here without them. Anyway, hope you're all doing good. Hope everyone's doing well. So we're picking up a couple of hours pretty much after the last episode left off, after the poppy harvest, where I had a whole load of straw to pick up, and I have done that, and I've got all the bales loaded onto the trailer. Now, in the last episode I was moving some straw bales at the beginning, wasn't I, using the telehandler. I think that's how I've been pretty much moving the straw bales so far in the series. Loading them onto the trailer with the telehandler and then towing that trailer with the telehandler, but it really does struggle. It's only got about 145 horsepower, and as I mentioned a couple of times, with all these mods that I'm running, I am running the realistic game engine mod, which completely turns over and reworks, the physics of the game. You'll have to forgive me, ladies and gentlemen. I am so hot. You know when you get so hot that your brain just can't function? That's where I'm at the minute, so you'll have to forgive me. Yeah, it completely reworks the physics of the game. Now, whether that's got anything to do with it or not, I don't know, or whether the reality was that I was just trying to pull a trailer that was far too heavy for the telehandler to manage. So what I've done is I've loaded up all the bales onto the trailer, strapped them all on, and come back with the tractor here. Take them to the sell point, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sell these ones. I think, if my mathematics is correct, we should get somewhere in the region of about £8,500 for this load of bales. I don't need to keep all of them. We've already got 675,000 litres of straw in bale form on the farm already. 90 bales, 7,500 litre bales. So I don't need to hang on. I don't think maybe it's a little bit of a gamble, I don't know, but I don't think I'm going to run out of straw too soon, he says. Famous last words. But yeah, for the value of £8.5 grand, I think I'm gonna run the risk and get them sold. So yeah, as I say, 90 bales already. I think I should be all right. Now, they do have an expiry date, of course, so I need to be very mindful of that. But they've got all of the bales so far have got just north of 15 months left before they expire and essentially rot. So they're all stored indoors under a canopy, so they're not going to get damaged and affected by the rain. So they should be in good form, I think. And like I say, 15 months left before they expire. In that 15 months, we're going to have planted our oats and our wheat and had them and had it harvested as well. So yeah, there we go. Now, I know I have properly overloaded this trailer. As you'll see, I've got my foot flat to the floor. The engine is currently at 100% load, but I've only got to get to the end of the driveway here, because pretty much where I'm going to be taking these bales to sell, which is just around the corner from my farm, it's pretty much all downhill. So if I now let off the accelerator here, maybe put down a little bit more, but get myself onto the road, I'm hoping I shouldn't do too much damage to and add too much more wear excessively to this wonderful tractor of mine. So let's put a foot down there and just let off. Hey, there we go. I actually need to be on the brake now, just to be careful that I don't lose control, because it is quite a long, steep hill, this one. But yeah, so, anyway, that's the straw picked up. And I'll go and get it sold. And then I want to take a trip over to, I say take a trip, just take a quick wander around to our silo. Because what I do need to do is pay a little bit of attention to the quality of the grain that we currently have stored in our silo. Now this is all down to Oz's incredible moisture system mod. Currently, as we stand, the moisture is not great regarding a couple of the crops. The linseed and the poppies that we've got in there isn't too bad, but the wheat and the barley is... it's not terrible, but it's not great either. If I can't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but I think the barley's quality is somewhere around 80-something%, and the wheat is currently in the high mid to high 60s when it comes to the percentage and quality. So we need to see to that, and we can do that by drying the grain, a new feature that was introduced to the moisture system mod in one of the latest updates to that mod, and it's really, really cool. So yeah. And I need to pay close attention to that because I am running the realistic economy mod on the game, so we're not going to get huge amounts of money for that grain. I think all in all, it's currently worth around about 40 grand. All of it, come January. Need to be mindful of the height of these bales as well, because I know I have stacked the trailer 3 high. So yeah, I was being a little bit cavalier there, wasn't I? But I just wanted to get them done in one go. Get them onto the trailer, give this tractor a test, towing it and seeing how it copes. But yeah, we've not got far to go. It's just round the corner here. It does look beautiful here in the evening, doesn't it, folks? Don't you think? It really does. It's quite a... I mean, admittedly, I appreciate that my windscreen is particularly dirty here at the minute, but that evening mist is quite something. So, I think this is us now, directly opposite. So let's... I don't know why I'm looking left and right. I don't think I've got traffic turned on at the minute. I turned it off and forgot to turn it back on again, but yeah, it's still the right thing to do, isn't it? So yeah, this I believe is the sell point for bales, or one of them. It's a local farm, so let's see what happens here. Are we getting any money in? Yeah, there we are. Bum bum bum. What do we get? Oh goodness, that's a lot more than what I thought. That's better, isn't it? Including the Environmental Score Award, $9,485. Pounds, sorry, goodness me. Brilliant. Oh, that's great. Well, that'll do. There we go. So 75 grand in the bank. Lovely stuff. Oh, I'm happy with that. I mean, I genuinely just looked at the price that we were going to get paid by this sell point. Anyway, I'm not complaining. I've got more money than what I thought. That'll do for me. So, I did mention in the last episode as well that I was considering, regarding this Richard Weston bale trailer that I'm dragging behind me at the minute, I did mention that I was going to consider getting rid of it, because I do feel, as great as a trailer as it is, I do feel it's a little bit big for my farm and these local roads. It does do the job well, and it's great that it can take quite a lot of bales, but I still think it would be ideal, a bit more ideal, if I was to chop it in for something just a little bit smaller that would make manoeuvring around here just that little bit easier. So that's what I'm going to do, I think. But I'm going to keep hold of it until I've done the logging. Those of you who've been watching the series up to now will know that I've got a little bit of a plan coming up in the near future, that I'm going to be chopping down a load of trees that are currently sat in the central sections between some fields. So that's what I'm going to be doing soon, and I think this trailer would be ideal to keep hold of until we get that done. And then once we've got all these logs, all the trees felled and the logs out the way and sold, then I can get rid of it. At the minute, it's got a value of around about 12.5 grand, and the trailer that I've got in mind to replace it with is a Johnston bale trailer, brand new, has a value of it's about 11.5 grand, I think it is. So yeah, we'll essentially stand to make a couple of quid chopping them out. So yeah, it's worth doing. There we go, that'll do. Get that parked in there for now. Let's jump out and unhitch it, and while we're here, we can have a quick trip round to the silo. Let's just pull this out of the way. Park it up here. Turn her off for a bit. And we'll go and have a quick check at our silo and have a look at the numbers. And we can see how we can better those numbers, hopefully. Because it is, obviously, it's 10 past 6 in the evening, so the idea was I was going to activate this drying process that we can now do with our, essentially, base game or base map silo. It's great that it works with pretty much any silo. And see what the numbers are like in the morning after a few hours drying. So, there we go. We've got the heads-up display in front of us there. As you can see, the linseed is dropping a little bit, but it's still at 100%, which is great. The barley moisture is at 15.2% and the quality is at 84%. The wheat moisture is at 15.3%. There we go. That's dropped a few more percentage points as well. The quality for the wheat is 62%, so that we need to bring that up if I want to even consider getting somewhere in the region of about $40,000 for all this grain come January. Poppy moisture 10.2%. The poppy quality at 92%. Right. So what we can do is if I bring up the moisture system heads-up display by Shift and M, should be. Why is that not working? There we go. I was using the wrong shift. So this gives you an indication of the qualities and the moisture levels that you need to achieve in the particular grains that you've got in your silo. And the quality levels that the moisture system recognises. So we want, for a grade A quality barley, we want 12 to 14%. For wheat, if we scroll down a bit, we want 11 to 13%. What else did we have? We want 8 to 10% for poppies, and we want 9 to 11 for the linseed. So we've got a bit of drying to do. So what I need to do is just quite simply press N. And as you'll see in the top right-hand corner, we've just had a little message to say silo drying started. Now, I'm going to take a quick screenshot of this screen now where I am there, and just to register in my mind what the moisture levels are presently of the grains. And then I'm going to pretty much now call it a day for this in-game day, come back in the morning and just see where they're up to after they've had a few hours of drying in the silo. So, yeah. And then tomorrow morning, I think what we need to start off with is I need to check on the animals first and foremost. Need to make sure that they're all good for... I think the cows are running a bit low on straw. And check the sheep are all good for hay and feed. And also the cows as well. I think the cows might be all right for a bit of food, but we'll see where they're up to. But yeah, we certainly need to check on them first. Now, the chickens are doing all right. I'm not actually too sure. I get... Regarding realistic livestock and chickens, so far these chickens have been fed, as it were, but I'm getting no egg production whatsoever from these chickens. Just jumping quickly into the animal menu very briefly before I go to sleep. In fact, we'll check on all of them where we're up to now. So let's just start at the chickens. So their reproduction is too young, but their reproduction isn't what it is because they're too young, but their productivity levels are all at 100%. But there's no eggs being produced. It says they all produce 3 litres per month of eggs. They've got enough feed. They're at 100% productivity, but there is no egg production at all. Is this something that is particular to realistic livestock, or have I just picked a faulty chicken coop? I don't know. But yeah, we'll see. It'll be a shame that, because I was relying on some egg production for a little bit more income. Now, regarding a little bit more income, I haven't really focused on this. I brought you round here, I don't think, so far in the series. But Kim, when she built me this farm, did place down this lovely little, quite quaint raspberry production system. So we've got, what you do is, I've got a few of the hand tools here. But essentially, this is for filling it up with water. You essentially load this little production system up with seeds and water, and over time, you get a production of raspberries. Now, we've got one pallet here. 1,050 litres, and it's currently worth, jumping into stock check very quickly, just to remind myself, where are we at? Raspberries. Goodness me, that's quite valuable, isn't it? £2,189 for a pallet of raspberries. Goodness me, that'll do. Yeah, not bad at all, eh? So, yeah, that's an income that's going to be worth taking advantage of course. And one of the other mods that I've got running on this series is Ritter's Fresh mod. Now, I don't actually think that Fresh, so far anyway, I'm not sure if it recognises raspberries. Obviously, the Fresh, what it does, it brings to the game essentially the degradation in quality of perishable products, and raspberries. You'd assume that raspberries would be part of that, but I think raspberries it's not something that's part of this map. It's a separate mod. So whether it's just a conflict perhaps with that, but essentially I did have a look in the Fresh heads-up display menu before, and raspberries wasn't on the list of the products that it recognises that are on my farm. So but still, I'm not going to hold on to them and just let them build up and build up. We need to sell them essentially. A couple of grand in the bank at the end of the day, can't complain. So yeah, right. So I'm going to go to sleep now and pick you up in the morning. We'll go check on the animals, potentially blow in some straw in the dairy barn down there, and then see what there is to do. So, see you soon. Right, good morning, folks. Here we are. I must admit, one of the things that does frustrate me a little bit about the game, when you go to sleep and you get that animation of the time passing forward and it looks up into the sky, but you always get those repeated beeps of all the messages that you can hear are appearing on the screen, but you can't see them. And it's really frustrating. Now, obviously, just then, it was just repeating beep, 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 I think, as every hour passed. A chunk of those messages were referring to the drying charges that we are now paying for to dry the grain. I think it was about £69. I'm assuming it was every hour. Goodness me, that morning mist is quite overpowering, isn't it? But yeah, I think a couple of them, unfortunately, we've lost a couple of the sheep. But in the future we will also be gaining some as well. So the ram has been busy overnight. We have got another 10 more lambs due. As of, I think it was a couple of episodes ago, we had 7 rams due, and he's been busy overnight, so we've now got a total of 17. We've currently now only got 18 sheep over in the pasture over there. I think we started out with 20, so we've lost a couple, but we will be gaining some. So at the minute, in total, assuming everything goes forward and they all carry on being healthy and they give birth, we'll have 35, but we'll obviously have to monitor these as they go. I'm doing my best to keep on top of their health, of course, but because I started the game and put the sheep into the pasture and then enabled realistic livestock, I wasn't able to control the actual physical health and quality of each of the individual sheep, if that makes any sense. So a couple of them some of them are great, around about average, but a couple of them are relatively unhealthy, so they may be the ones that have kind of kicked the bucket, I suppose. But we shall see. It's all good fun anyway. And we also have another 6 Jersey calves on their way as well. So that will bring the total, if all goes well with their health and their reproduction, to 62. We currently have 31 at the minute, so that's great. So anyway, let's have a quick look at the quality and moisture levels of the crops that we've got in the silo here. So starting at the top, linseed. So nothing has changed there. Yesterday when I took that screenshot, the moisture levels of the linseed was at 9.8% and the quality was at 100. That's still as it was. The barley moisture is now at 14.1%. Yesterday it was 15.2. So the quality of the barley now, interesting. So the barley moisture has dropped. We're now at 14.1. It was at 15.2, but yesterday the quality was at 84%, and now it's at 83. Okay, so barley wants to be between 12 and 14%. So let's just hope that over the coming day or so, couple of days, that moisture level drops below the 14.1%, and that quality starts to improve. Fingers crossed, touch wood. The wheat moisture, it is now at 14.2, and it was at 15.3. Yesterday the quality was at 62%, and the quality's at 58% now. Right, so I'm drying the grain, I'm spending money drying the grain, but the quality isn't improving. Right, okay. Any news, any ideas, ladies and gentlemen? Because I haven't got a clue there. I just assumed that if I dried them off the drier it got, the better the quality would improve, but clearly not. The poppy moisture is at 10%. Yesterday it was at 10.2. The poppy quality yesterday was at 92%, and it's still at 92% now. Right, okay, so... Right, well, okay, it looks like I'm still losing quality, even though I'm spending money drying the grain. Goodness me, right, well, let me know if I'm doing anything wrong here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think I am. I mean, it's as simple as activating the drying process, isn't it? But anyway, we shall see. Right, so I'm going to go and throw a straw bale into the dairy barn, and I think I need to. I also do need to go and throw a bale of hay over into the Herefords as well, because they're running a little bit shy on food. So yeah, bit of looking around to do here. So I think I'm going to just scurry around, get this done. Let me just wait for the engine to warm up here as well before I start cracking off, because otherwise ADS will tell me off. I tell you what ADS doesn't like: batteries. It likes to kill batteries. My Claas Jaguar, the forage harvester that I've got over in the shed there, it's dead, completely dead. And yeah, we've already had that issue with the JCB in the, was it the last episode, I think it was, where I had to jump start it. But yeah, I think of all of my fleet of vehicles so far anyway, the JCB is the only one that's undergone any kind of maintenance worth talking about. So I think in due time, everything's going to need a good coat of looking at, and a good bit of an inspection and a looking at from a technician, I suppose, in the workshop. So yeah, we'll do that all in good time. But for now, I'm just going to spend a couple of minutes sorting out the cows with a bit of straw bedding, and the Herefords over in the pasture with a bale of hay. Right then, that's the animals sorted. So now I'm going to focus on making a start on these, what will be grass fields. Now we've got two areas of land that I'm going to be changing. We've got where we're looking at here, these three fields I'm going to be stitching together and making one large grass field. And we also have what will be three fields turning into one over on the other side of the farm. One of those fields currently still has mint in. I'm not going to be able to do anything with creating that large field until next month when the mint is out the ground. So I've got a little bit of time ahead of me before I need to worry about that. But I can still focus on getting those trees felled and get them done so that the land is ready for me to start working in. So that's what I'm going to do now. Now what I'm going to do, initially I was considering, well, I am still considering, I'm just going to lease a log grab for this telehandler, and keeping hold of the Richard Wesson trailer for now until I've got this job done. I'm just going to essentially fell the trees, chop them down to as manageable chunks as possible, stick them on the trailer, and we're going to take them over to whichever sell point will tell me is offering the best price for wood. Now, it was suggested to me that it may well be more financially beneficial to turn those logs into wood chips. Now, I know wood chips can be quite a fruitful venture in Farming Simulator, but at the minute, with what I've got available to me, considering my bank balance, and I don't actually have any other mods apart from the couple of things that are base game in respect of wood chippers, the wood chipper that's currently, that would be suitable for me to use, has a value of about 105,000 quid, and a lease cost of that is for 1 hour is somewhere in the region of about £5.5 grand, and I'd imagine I may well need it for possibly a little bit longer, depending on how much faffing I end up doing. So with that in mind, I'm not going to do the wood chip thing. I'm just going to chop them down, stick them on the trailer, and do you know what I mean? And then just get rid of them in that way. We're still going to get a little bit of money. I'm not expecting a huge amount, don't get me wrong. But I think when it comes to leasing things and having to, you know, factor in the cost of leasing that equipment, I hope it would still just be the right thing to do, just to chop them down and get rid of them. I'm not going to faff around leasing a wood chipper, like I say, because that's like £5.5, £6 grand potentially, if that, maybe a bit more. I don't know. So we shall see. But a massive shout out to all of you who did give me help and suggestions regarding the trees, and also a massive word of thanks to a handful of folks who did suggest the hand plant sapling mod. Now, I had mentioned in the previous episode that initially the idea was to bring balance to the fines that I might receive from the red tape mod as a result of felling the trees. Obviously, I'm going to be replanting the same number that I fell. And in my head, I was just going to be leasing that standard base game tree plant machine and going down that route. But of course, we've got the hand plant sapling mod, so I have got that installed. I haven't used it yet, I haven't taken a look at it, but of course that's going to be way cheaper than leasing one of those big expensive bits of kit, so that's what I'm going to do. But the question I do have regarding red tape, if any of you out there can help me in this instance, when it comes to the fines that I'm likely to receive for felling trees, do I need to replant the trees in the same month, in the same in-game month that I fell the trees, if that makes any sense, in order to make sure that I'm bringing balance to everything? Is that the order in which I need to do things, or can I afford to wait till the next month? I'm not too sure. I'd really, like I said, really appreciate any input if you've got it. I don't know why I'm getting out of cab then, because I can just disconnect it from here. Do you know what, ladies and gentlemen? I'm not trying to moan. It's a lovely day outside, but it is physical torture. Trying to record in the room that I'm currently in at the minute is so difficult. You know, when you get so hot that your brain just doesn't function properly, and I think this is like the 7th time I've just recorded this particular clip, starting back from when I've just fed the Herefords there. It's absolutely ridiculous. I've got fans around me trying to keep me cool, but they're just moving warm air all over me, and it is so difficult to focus and concentrate. So if I sound like a bumbling mess, you'll have to forgive me. I'm doing my very best. I really am. It's the conditions are very difficult. The room I'm in, where my computer sits and whatnot at the minute, there's not great airflow anyway at the best of times, and when the temperatures are, I mean, at 11 o'clock this morning when I nipped to the shops, it was 32 degrees. 32 degrees before midday, and I'm currently now, what time is it? Where's the clock? It's 1:30 in the afternoon now. God knows what it is outside. It must be possibly 33, 34 degrees, and in here it's, I don't know, gas mark 5. I'm saying, give or take a bit, it's around about there. It's absolutely boiling hot in here. So anyway, I'm not moaning, forgive me folks. I know it's been the most common source of topic of conversation over on my Discord these last few days is, oh my god, how hot it is, I'm dying, I'm melting, etc, etc. It was meant to be cooler today. The forecast said, oh yeah, it's going to be a bit cooler today, you know, and they literally lie. They really do. It's 2 or 3 degrees warmer than it was yesterday, so yeah, torturous. Anyway, right, sorry, rant over, moan over. So right, I'm going to nip, if I can actually find my way to the shop in this incredible fog mist. It's quite something, isn't it? I do have the fog control mod installed on my system here, and because of the settings that I've set it to on previous saves, if I activate it, it just removes all the fog, and I didn't want to do that on Witcombe here because there is something very nice about it. Obviously it just adds to the immersion and the atmosphere of the map, especially first thing in the morning, but it is quite overpowering, isn't it? I'm sure it's nothing to do with Oxy. I think that's just base game stuff, isn't it? But yeah. Right, anyway, so here we are down at the dealership. We're going to lease this log grab. I think I'm going to do this whole job off camera. I think I'm going to get it done because it is a right faff, and I know that the trees aren't particularly straightforward to work with. They're really not. They're The trees that I've got to chop down are big, awkward ones. They're not lovely, simple, straight, long Scotch pines or anything like that. So, yeah, it is going to be a bit of a nightmare. So let's look at this, you see. So lease, 159 quid. Yeah, it's the right way to do it. For me, anyway. I feel it's the right thing to do. Just grab whatever logs I can, load them onto my trailer, get them sold, and then once we've got that done, then there we go. Once we've got that done, then I can potentially sell that trailer, replace it with another one. Might make a couple of quid from the chopping and changing of that. I don't know. We'll see. And then once that's done and the trees are out the way, in fields 7 and 8 and 15, 18 and 19, I think it is, where we just were next to the Herefords, we'll be able to pull the cultivator out of the shed for the first time this series. I'm going to make myself a couple of custom courseplay courses, and then we can stitch those fields together and start thinking about prepping the land, because we need to get some grass in there. We're going to be putting oats in fields 7 and 8, which is where the smaller field of poppies was, and the field of grass once they're stitched together. And there we go, there's the train. Yeah, we'll be putting oats in there. We need to get grass in 15, 18 and 19, so that I think the grass is the first one we're going to be able to work with and get sorted. A few of the other fields we don't need to be worrying too much about till next year. We've got, what have we got? The grass we can plant now. The wheat we'll be planting in October, and the oats, the mint, and the lavender and the canola we don't plant till next year. So I do have a little bit of luxury of time ahead of me before we need to worry about rushing and prepping all those fields as well. So yeah, we have a plan. Let's stick to it. But before that, I need to get these trees sorted. So like I say, I'm going to get myself back to the farm, and I'm going to faff around getting these trees sorted, and I'll pick you up hopefully in a little while's time when I've got a trailer load of trees or logs, and we'll figure out where's the best place to take them to and get them sold. Righto folks, welcome back. Now I've got to say that was the least amount of fun I have ever had in Farming Simulator. Those trees are not meant to be used for logging, I don't think, in any sense of the word. They're just for decoration. I know they can be, you can chop them down, and I did do, if I jump into, I can only now jump into the main finances set, not the finances, sorry, the statistics. Trees cut down, 59. As you can see in this session it says 0 because I've been in and out of the game a couple of times, but I have now cut down 59 trees, so I'm expecting red tape, because obviously it does say next evaluation date in October, so next month I think it's going to come through with that and say 59 trees, and potentially I'm going to get some kind of penalty for chopping down 59 trees, so I'm going to need to replace those at some point, probably within the month of October, to try and keep things balanced. But it's done. But what a nightmare, honestly. I've been in and out of the game because I had reset it back to the before I'd started doing it, because I did want to try out the wood chipping approach, but it didn't work because you just can't feed those trees into the wood chipper, and obviously with me here just not having all the machinery, it was a bit of a nightmare. So essentially everything has been reset, but it's done, and all in all, financially, including the environmental score awards that you get from selling the logs or the trees, we got £2,954, which I know is not a huge amount of money whatsoever when you can, logging can be very, very fruitful, can't it? It can be quite financially viable, but not for those. Those were an absolute nightmare. But anyway, the job's done. It's all sorted, and I'm now down here at the workshop, and I'm going to sell this trailer, and I'm going to buy the other one. So repair. Do I need to? I don't need to repair that. There's nothing to repair. That'll do. Yeah, no charge. It says value £13,625. Okay, so if I sell it, interesting. 12,386. 13,625. 12,386. I was always under the impression you always do usually get a bit more money for your kit when you come down and sell it at the shop. I'm not going to repaint it for 3,815 quid, no chance. But there's no option for me to repair it there. So, anyway, it is what it is. £12,386. Right, we've got rid of that. There we go. Sorted. So let's buy ourselves the shorter one that I wanted. So let's go straight down. It's in the bale transport section. And it's this lovely little thing, the Johnston Bale Trailer. So we're just going to keep it exactly as it is. I don't need to worry about any wheel setups or designs or anything like that. We'll just keep it red. And that's £11,399. So let's buy that. Yep, job's a good one. Lovely stuff. I just think that's just a little bit more suitable, I think, for the layout of the map, the width and the narrowness of the roads and the lanes, and especially around my farm and all that kind of stuff. It's I think it's just a little bit better. Yes, I know I'm not going to be able to carry as many bales on the trailer. I get that, but it is what it is. I'm more than happy to give this one a go. So that could be us there. Let's see how my reversing skills have played out. There. Anyway, right. Oh. Just a couple of inches. Goodness me. Come on. We'll get there. But I think now what I'm going to do, because I must admit I'm a little bit wound up, but obviously because of the heat, that's not helping things one little bit. But that was generally a relatively miserable experience working with all those trees. It really was. Sorry to keep harping on about it. It was just rubbish. Anyway, enough of my nonsense. Right, back to the farm. And I think what we're going to do, we're going to jump into the cultivator. We're going to jump into it. We're not going to jump into it. See what I mean about the brain not working well in this heat. We're going to hitch up the cultivator. We're not going to jump into it. And we're going to go and create ourselves a field. So, back to the farm. We'll drop this trailer off, hitch up the cultivator, and get making a field.
Uncharted lands will claim them all. Rise like tides and let it fall. Just endless seas. Come drift with me. Come drift with me. Oh. Come drift with me. Oh. And come drift with me. Oh. And come drift with me.
And there we go, folks. One brand new field. Check that out. That's going to be that's a good size field. That's going to be a good crop of oats, I feel, next year when we get them done. This thing's jiggling around a bit, isn't it? Just leave it there for now, shall we? Yeah, it's still. Look at that. Bouncy Castle tractor. What's going on there? Yeah, it's a bit of an odd one, isn't it? Not seen that one before. Anyway, never mind. to revel in my new field. Look at that. That's awesome. That is. That's really, really cool. So I've still got to buy in a bit of the precision farming data. I'm waiting to do that, though. I've not forgotten about it. But obviously, we still have, from the few fields that we purchased a couple of episodes ago, right on the other side of the map there, we've still got all that precision farming data to buy in as well. So once I've done all the field work that I want to do, joining them all together, etc., etc., that's when I'm going to rent one of the Isaria range extension machines, and the modded ones that just allow you to get a little bit more land in with the scan. It looks daft, that, doesn't it? Prancing about like that, wobbling around. I don't know what's going on there. It's not done that before. It's a bit odd. Anyway. Yeah, so anyway, while we're here, let's just go and have a quick look at where we're up to with our grain drying now we're a few hours later. I'm not expecting too much of a difference, but I just kind of figured it would be a good thing to look at. So, with the linseed's not changed, the barley's at 14% now. Barley quality 83, wheat 13.5. The wheat quality, I'm sure that's gone down again from before. Am I doing something wrong, ladies and gentlemen? Anyone who is a little bit more experienced with the moisture mod, please do let me know. Like I said before, I was expecting the quality of the grain to increase as we were drying. I mean, I'm paying out £69 an hour for the drying process. I really was hoping that was that would improve the quality, but so far, I mean, it's only been a few hours. I appreciate that, but the quality's gone down instead of up. But yeah. Goodness. So I'll tell you what, while we're here as well, let me just jump quickly into flight mode and I will show you what the place looks like now without all the trees and without all the tree stumps. So this will get down to this in the next episode, joining these three fields together. This is going to be a whopper. I think this may well be possibly one of the largest fields on the map when we get down to it. But yeah, now we finally got rid of all those trees. That was I'll tell you what, going from quite a stressful job in removing all of those trees to what was quite the opposite, a very calming job. I didn't use... normally I like to jump into course play and get a bit of automation going and throw it into cinematics and stuff, but I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to chill out and do it freehand, and that's exactly what I did. So yeah, quite chuffed with that. The result looks great, but over here again as well, we've got rid of a couple of trees at this end here, and there was a few trees that just lay in this field. It's not a field border, is it? But it's just the bit in the middle of the field. There was quite a few trees here that were... would have got in my way, but it was frustrating. There was trees inside of trees, there really was, and I've got a much stronger hatred for the downy serviceberry tree now as well. Those things are an absolute pain in the neck, and like I say, there was trees inside of trees, bushes inside of trees and stuff. Those downy serviceberry things, they were inside some of the larger box elder trees. It was just such a difficult and annoying process. Oh well, I've managed to paint a bit of my field there. It's a good job. We're going to be running the cultivator in here at some point. But yeah, I've managed to paint a bit of grass into my field by accident there. Whoops. So anyway, where am I? There we are. Back down to earth. With a bump. Right, so anyway, for this episode, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to call it here. Thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you have enjoyed this episode and found it a little bit of fun and a little bit interesting. If you're new to the channel and you've enjoyed the video and you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please give the video a like as well if you can. It does do wonders. Helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. And if you like the idea of supporting the channel, there are a couple of ways you can do that. There is my Giants Partner promo code. If any of you are in the market for purchasing Farming Simulator 25 or any of its add-ons or DLCs. There's coffee.com if you'd like to buy me a coffee. And there is also my G-Portal affiliate link if any of you are in the market for an online server to play with your mates. Any help and support also, ladies and gentlemen, would be massively appreciated. So, thanks again for your time, folks. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.